What up, players? Today we've got a huge countdown. Today we're taking a look at the top 10 best numbers ever. Let's dive right in. All right, coming in at number 10, we've got number 10. Most countdowns start from this number. It's the first of the double digits. 10 is also the smallest semi-prime number. A semi-prime number is a number that is created by multiplying two prime numbers. 10 is also the sum of the three prime numbers below it, 2, 3, and 5. Great number. All right, coming in at number 9, I've got my dad's phone number. If anyone has it, please let me know. His current one's been disconnected or he's just blocked me. I just want to let him know that I graduated high school 8 years ago. All right, coming in number 8, we've got 420. In weed culture, it is slang for marijuana consumption, especially smoking at 4:20 p.m. There are also celebrations of weed culture on April 20th. It actually originated in the 1970s by 5 students in San Rafael, California, who called themselves the Waldos because they used to hang out by a wall at school. These 5 guys learnt of this Coast Guard who had planted a couple of marijuana plants in the forest, but he could no longer tend to it. And he left this sort of treasure map, which led to the plant. The 5 guys would meet after sports practice at 4:20 p.m. at this statue. They'd go get in their cars, they'd smoke up, and then they'd go and try and find this plant in the Point Reyes forest. They would remind each other in the hallways at school on the day that they were going to meet that week, and they'd say 4:20 Louis, like 4:20 Louis, like referring to meeting at 4:20 p.m. at the Louis Pasteur statue. Later on, they dropped the Louis and just did 4:20, which is a lot cleaner. One of the guys in the group is friends with the band The Grateful Dead. So when they would hang out with them backstage, they would use that slang, and it was adopted by the band, and then it just spread like wildfire. But yeah, 4:20 is a great number. Also happens to be the number of days since I've actually felt anything. All right, coming at number 7, we've got 69. Good one, Will. Good one. All right, coming in number 6, we've got pi. It is the ratio of the circumference of any circle to the diameter of that circle. Regardless of the size of the circle, that ratio will always equal pi. It's approximately 3.14, but it's an irrational number, which means it cannot be expressed as a fraction, although 2217 is a pretty good estimate of it, and its decimal never ends. It also happens to be the amount of times a day I think about what my life would be like if people actually liked me. All right, coming in number 5, we've got 808. The Roland TR-808 is a drum machine that was made in the 80s. It is probably the most famous drum machine of all time. The TR-808 was one of the first drum machines that actually allowed you to program different rhythms. Most of the drum machines on the market at that time only had a preset sequences and preset rhythms. It also created sounds in the unit through analog synthesis rather than just triggering samples of analog drums, which is what the Lindrum was doing at the time, which was the biggest competitor of the TR-808. Here's a sample of some of the sounds. It has been used in so many famous songs. It's so widely used, it's ridiculous. Probably the most famous is Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing. Here's a snippet. So that sound, all those drums are the Roland TR-808. But yeah, great number, great drum machine. Also happens to be the number of unreturned phone calls I've made to my dad in the last year. All right, coming in number 4, we've got 1,975, the biggest number on this list, and the name of the rock and roll band, the 1975. They got their name when lead singer Matty Healy was in Mallorca or something, and he befriended an artist who gave him a collection of books and diaries. And when he got back to England, he was reading them. And one of the books, I think it was a copy of On the Road by Kerouac, had an entry, like a diary entry, and it was dated 1st of June, 1975. He said he found it interesting, so that's what he called his band. Big number. Also happens to be the amount of times I've driven at night with my eyes closed and my headlights off in an attempt to feel something. All right, coming in number 3, we've got E, Euler's E. The number is actually really sick. It's another irrational number. As we know, that means it can't be expressed as a fraction and its decimals never end. It's the base of all natural logs. It is a natural exponent function. Anywhere on the function, its slope is its value, which is pretty tight and makes calculus so much easier. It's also a compounding constant. When calculating interest on an amount, as you increase n, or the amount of intervals for which you're compounding, it approaches e, which is so super cool. Euler's e is around 2.718, which also happens to be the number of girls I've ever spoken to in my life without having a panic attack. All right, coming in number 2, we've got number 9. 9 was the number of rings of power given by Sauron to the evil, doomed, corrupt men. They succumbed to the power and became servants to Sauron in the form of ring wraiths, but we all know this. Also happens to be the number big Dominic Calvert-Lewin is wearing on his back as he's banging in goals for the Toffees, who are going to win the league this year, let me tell you that much. Also happens to be the amount of times a day I regret everything I've ever done in my life. All right, coming in at number 1, we've got number 8. Really significant number. The number of cylinders in Dom Toretto's Dodge Charger. Also the number that Collingwood defender Tom Langdon wears on his back. One of the best players to ever do it. Also happens to be the number of people that I've seen this week who I wish were my dad. All right, that's it for top 10 numbers. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, check out my other vids and hit that subscribe button. But yeah, enjoy and I'll see you next time.